What's going on, you guys? This is New York Adventure 1994 here, and today is Tuesday, October 29th, 2019. And because because I'm in New York, I thought I should make this video about what happened 7 years ago, especially in Long Island. Monday, October 29th, 2012, which is the day I mentioned last year from making a weather backstory. We had a big hurricane. The hurricane was Hurricane Sandy. It was like one of the worst hurricanes we had. There's been a lot of bad stuff the storm has done. Everybody, including me, almost everyone has lost their power. And they had a lot of generators hooked up. And near the waters of Long Island, the floods were so big that a lot of people have lost their homes from the storm. It was like really bad. The hurricane like lasted all day, and I lost power about like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I was like sitting in my bedroom when the power blew out. We got a lot of warnings and stuff on TV that the hurricane was coming, like days before the incident. This happened when I was in 6th grade. My other brothers were in 4th and 2nd grade. I could remember. It was like 5 months before my March road trip to Disney for spring break and before Easter. Yeah. A lot of bad stuff happened in between that storm and losing power for over a week. I did not go to school for a whole week. Like over a week until election day was over. I didn't come back to school until like November 7th of 2012, which was a Wednesday after election day, because the school was closed and a lot of people lost power and lost their homes. So it was a really bad thing. And a lot of people were out in the middle of the night at gas stations for like gas and stuff. And my dad was like out until like 4 in the morning at a gas station because he was like on a long line for gas. I forgot what he was doing. It had to like do with the generator and stuff. When we use the generator, we hook up the TV so it could turn on while we're trapped inside without power. I do not like leaving the house during a hurricane. We were like close to evacuating and going to my grandparents' house in New York City. But we thought it wasn't going to be bad, but we were wrong. We were dead wrong. The winds were blowing, the trees were blowing, the winds were strong. It was really, really bad. I even had fence knocked down on the side of my house into my neighbor's. That's how bad it got. I even trick-or-treated even though we lost power. It was like a cloudy day. The sun did not come out until like the end of the week. Because it was just really bad. Because nobody could do anything about it. We were trapped. I mean, once the storm was over, there was a day where I went near the water and there were lots of houses ruined. And lots of people were homeless. They were living in hotels, other family members or friends, and their houses were a complete mess. There were lots of trees falling. A lot of trees have fallen. There was a lot of stuff on the ground. There was like clothes everywhere. There was like furniture everywhere. There was like old toys everywhere. And there was like building supplies everywhere. It looked really bad near the water. And there's some people today that are still homeless. It's still really bad. After almost being a whole decade now. It'll be a decade in 2022. It'll be the 10th anniversary this mess happened. And one of my family members had friends who lived near the water, like Antonio, Vinny, and Gio, who I have a video of when I played basketball with them in a 2015 video. I had like very old clothes on and very old shoes on. I wore a lot of black and orange that day, I can remember. I had like an older camera back then, which is why one of the graphics look old in those videos, but I don't hear from them anymore, and I do not like talking about why. I never heard from them again after the end of 2017. It was like over after 2017 was over. It was like just over. I did not say a final goodbye to them because I didn't know what was up. I knew them since 2007. I think we went to McDonald's together for the first time. I was even at one of their birthday parties. And one of my dad's friends lived down there. It's one of the friends that my dad went to school with when he was little. But I don't really see them anymore except for the dad. I tell you what, this storm had done a great deal of damage really fast, and we still get bad weather this day on October 29th. It's been nasty all day today too, and it was like really nasty when I came back from Pittsburgh in 2017, and the next day was October 29th. It was the 5th year of Hurricane Sandy, and we had a nor'easter where the winds were so strong and the weather was just disgusting. The wind like blew all day that day too, like marking the 5th anniversary of Hurricane Sandy after I went on vacation. And in 2011, we had like a rain and snowstorm on October 29th. It was a Saturday, believe it or not. Lots of places near the water were flooded. Thankfully, I did not get flooded and lost my home. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be in here right now. I'd live elsewhere. There's a lot of people still living elsewhere from the storm. Probably for a long time, and there's some people who are probably never going to get their homes back, sadly. This has been one of the worst things that might have happened to them. And one of my neighbors on this block, the day after Hurricane Sandy, one of my neighbors' mom died from a heart attack the day after the storm. So, those were really dark times, and I do not like 2012 for it. And a lot of bad stuff happened to Angry Grandpa, too. It's just that he was going through a divorce and his sister died towards the end of the year. And he ended up canceling the 2012 year in review with Michael because he was just way too sad, and Michael did not want to show up with the camera saying, "Hey Dad, what do you think about the year?" I agree that 2012 was one of the worst years. And 6th grade was like one of the most boringest school years I ever had. Except for when I went to Disney, but I did not like 6th grade because it was like a boring school year. I was like so excited to leave on the last day of school. "2012 was like one of the worst hurricane years. Everyone was evacuating and all that stuff. The winds were heavy, lots of trees had fallen. It was all bad. It was really bad that week. I'm glad it's over now. But we still get nasty weather to this day, shockingly. Even on its 7th anniversary of it happening. And there's some people who are still dealing with the same thing. Of not having their homes anymore. I mean, there are some people that lucked out that got their homes back. Including one of my old friends. They got their house back in like a few months, and I came to their house again on 7-Eleven Day in 2013. And everything was like back to normal, but their old toys got thrown out. That's what I can remember. It was just really hard, that's what. A lot of old stuff got thrown out. They even lost their cat after the storm. It was like a really old cat who was like born in 2001. And there's been a lot of deaths that happened after the hurricane, like one of my neighbor's mom who had a heart attack and died after the storm. So it was like a really dark time for us, even for living in Long Island. This also happened during the 3-month NHL lockout, so no NHL teams have played until mid-January of 2013. And the Giants were lucky that they were still playing, even though we had a bad storm and all, but it was bad. So this has been a complete disaster. I guess that's it. Bye.